money. Yeah, gotta get this money.
Oh, well, as you know, I am co-administratrix of the estate. All of Christopher's work, we have to be approached for the album. Everybody wants to hear more of Biggie. A couple of years ago, I spoke to Jay-Z, and he wants to be on the album. I always wanted Bob Marley to be on the album. Faith, of course, I wanted to be on the album. And of course, Puffy, Diddy, whatever his name is. Afeni, Shakur and I, we have a wonderful relationship, and she had asked for some of Christopher's work to be on Tupac's album. I think it was Resurrection, so in turn I said, okay, when I come out with the album, of course, we would like to have Tupac on it. So the album, after, lots of paperwork, and so Puffy and I and Faith and the producers, and we all get together. And many of the artists, many of them don't even know Christopher, never worked with Christopher. Christopher, that is Biggie. We couldn't put them on because, it was just too much. And so that is it. Do I have anything to do with the album? Of course, yes. You won't I don't have my son's CD in my car. I have, my car holds 6 CD. You want to know what I have?
Yeah.
I have Tony Braxton. I have Jagged Edge, very old Jagged Edge. I have 2 Bob Marley.
Whoa.
I have Whitney. And I have Kenny Chesnick.
Do you play his music anywhere, or
not as, no. I listen to my son's music whenever it comes on radio, whenever I'm watching VH1, MTV, BET, or whatever. But I'm not the type to stick my son's album in. I don't know if you know it, my son's album has a lot of profanity in it. But when I asked for his music, I asked for the clean version. But I really don't, and it's in my house. When I have friends over, they all want to hear Biggie. And I put it in, but in my house, it's the clean version.
So how are you doing?
I'm doing just fine, thank you. So many people, I think maybe 4 or 5 books are out there, and I had nothing to do with it. The thing is this, I would be interviewed, Ms. Wallace, I'm doing a book, and they would interview me, but I'm not a part of it. Ever since when I was in college, I had a course I took, and I had to research 50 children's books. Now, I read those children's books, and one of the highest award you can get for children's book is called the Caldecott Award. And I said to myself, damn, I can do better than that. So I started writing books. I have 5 children's books. They haven't been published yet, but very soon they will be. So I have these books put aside. And then when my son passed away, I was just writing, and I found out I was writing a lot of poems. Beautiful poems, or that's what I was told. So I wanted to publish my poems. And I went to a literary agent, and they took me over to Simon & Schuster. And Simon & Schuster says, wow, I think you should write a book and incorporate, the poems in it. I had, I think, 30 poems. So why did I come out with the book? I have a book in me. And not only that, after my son passed away, which I've been telling the story, I guess, for the past, God knows, month, I lost my identity. I wasn't Valetta Wallace anymore. I walk into a room, I don't know if that man that came in said, Miss Wallace. I think he said Biggie's mom. I was Biggie's mom, Biggie's mother. I was not Valetta Wallace. So I wanted the world, since my son was such a famous artist, rapper, entertainer, find out about his mother. And that book explains a lot about Valetta Wallace. That book is really about Valetta Wallace and not really Biggie's mother.
Is there any chance that maybe like a movie based on Biggie's life,
Yes.
showing the major influence that you had on him?
Christopher Wallace, yes, not Notorious B.I.G.
Exactly, that's what I was. Yeah.
Yes, actually the movie is being written by Cheo, and he wrote Unbelievable, the book. So we are in almost, the script is almost finished. And the movie is going through Fox Searchlight,
Okay.
and it's going to be directed by Antoine Fuqua. I have the opportunity to meet him this summer. Had a wonderful talk, and he's looking forward to the project. So hopefully by February, March, somewhere around there, we'll be in production, the real thing.
What is your advice to anyone that's had a tragic loss of a loved one in regards to the process of getting better, getting over that, and moving on with your life?
We encroach these tragedies so many different ways. For me, my faith keeps me going. I'm a Christian, and I have a hope that someday I'm going to see my son. Someday I'm going to see him. So I can smile about that. And whenever I think of my son, I don't think of the tragedy. I think of the beautiful times that we've had in the past. And this way I can smile. When I hear his music, it makes me feel close to him, the clean version. It makes me feel very, very close to him because it's like his voice that I'm hearing. And for individuals, for parents who suffered that loss, for wives and husbands who've had that loss, all I can tell them is don't focus on the tragedy, but focus on the happy moments that they've had with that individual. And that will help the pain, because if you focus on that death, you will never get over it. I know for me, I don't think about his death. I'm sure you know that there's a lawsuit that's in LA, and that I have to have. I have to have. And when I'm in that courtroom, it's the murder all over again. But still, I have a goal, and that is to find out who murdered my son and put that individual to, put him in prison.
Yeah, gotta get this money. Yeah.